Welcome back, everyone, to this week's episode of The Chrysalis Effect. I am Monique White, your host, and here in The Chrysalis Effect, it is my intention to transform your mind so that you can transform your money and manifestations through entrepreneurship. I want to shift perspectives, provide inspiration and strategies to help you in life, business, and spirit. And for those of you who signed up for a connection call with me, I love the opportunity to connect, explore your transformation goals, and hear your stories. So thank you. And if you would like to connect and you have not scheduled a call, you may do so by clicking the link in the description box below. It is totally free. I set aside space each week for 5 connection calls. So go ahead and grab your spot. And before I go any further, there are still co-author slots in my upcoming anthology. So if you are interested, if you are a woman of faith who's discovered new strengths and power in what felt like an insurmountable situation, who has been prepared and positioned by God's grace through that situation, I invite you to join me in sharing your story. Help another sister by sharing your story of hope and let her know that she is not alone. You can find the link to sign up to be a co-author also in the description box below. Please like, subscribe, hit that little notification button so you can be notified when another episode is uploaded, and share this out. Share this out to at least 3 people. So without further ado, let's dive right on in. Today, I want to speak to you about S.T.O.P. S.T.O.P. S-T-O.P. S.T.O.P. And I thought about this when I was thinking in the context of entrepreneurship. It is very rewarding, but it is very hard. And as I speak to new business owners, as I speak to new entrepreneurs, it seemed to me and it became apparent that before people jump into this, you have to recognize that there are a lot of ups and downs. It is not for the faint at heart. They don't tell you that. It seems real glamorous, but it is not for the faint of heart. Inevitably, there are going to be times when you just draw a blank. So we are going to talk about those times when you tried all the things, when you've done all the things, but it doesn't seem to be coming together or working out the way you have desired. There will be times just like that when you can't come up with anything. So what do? What do you do when you are a creator and you just can't come up with any content? What do you do when you are an author and you just hit a block? The words aren't coming. What do you do as a leader when strategy evades you? Well, you can try to force it. You can try. And you can keep banging your head against that wall, so to speak. And you can continue to pile up frustration on top of frustration. So my answer to the question is pretty simple. And that is to stop. To stop. Take time to rest and reset. Rest and reset. We live in a world that is consumed by the hustle and bustle grind paradigm. And the problem with that is underneath that paradigm, there's no real time to breathe. The problem with that mentality is it wears you down. There's no time to generate new ideas. There's no time to generate or plan out new strategies. So when you are in that moment, when everything seems just out of reach, ideas, strategy, you just don't have the energy for it, I would encourage you to stop. That is your body's way of telling you, your mind's way of telling you that you need to rest and reset. And I think we had just seen with what they call the Great Resignation, people shifting their priorities away from that grind paradigm. That hustle and bustle, always got to be on the go paradigm, because they realize that there's got to be more. There's got to be more. That you have got to start prioritizing your physical, mental well-being. You got to find some balance in it all. I chuckled to myself because I once heard someone say that even bees take time to smell the flowers. Even bees take time to smell the roses. Think about that. The bee, the symbol of productivity, takes time to smell the roses. We've all heard the saying, busy as a bee, or, being as productive as a bee. But even the bee and all that busyness takes time to smell the roses, the flowers. So if we're going to look to the bee as an example, let's take the example in all of its fullness. Let's not just cut out one aspect of it. Sometimes you have to take time out, time to rest and reset. As I said, your mind, your body is not designed or programmed to run at a stress level, at that on switch, 24/7, 365 days of the year. Your mind, your body requires downtime. So in order to be truly productive, you have to incorporate some downtime in your life. Because if you don't, your mind, your body is going to start to break down. It's going to start to break down. You also need the time to really appreciate your accomplishments and the world around you. Things are constantly changing. If you're always on the go, you don't have time to recognize that. You don't have time to really be in and appreciate the moment. Entrepreneurship is a wild ride, and it can be very rewarding, as I said. Enjoy it. Appreciate it. Appreciate the lessons learned along the way. You cannot assess your progress, and you cannot assess the effectiveness of something unless you take the time and make the time to do so. So consider this. We talked about the bee, but let's talk about, we're in planting season right now. Consider the farmer, right? And harvest. Even fields need time to rest. Farmers don't plant the same field back to back to back. They rotate. They give a field time to rest and replenish. You have to take a step back and let the field, which is you, replenish. There's a resting period. It's a cycle. Step back if you are in your planting season and let what you have planted grow. It needs time to grow. Let the process play out. Let your work germinate through your resting period. And if you have done the work, it's okay to stop and take a moment. So when you hit that wall, so to speak, step back and stop. Don't force it. Like one of my previous guests said before, I believe it was Keita Williams of Successfully. She said, if you have to force it, then you're probably not doing it correctly. If you have to force it, you're probably not doing it right. There is a time to stop, evaluate, and rest. Reset. Stop. Get still to open yourself to possibilities. You cannot hear if you are doing all the talking. You cannot receive if you're always giving. Stop. Get still to open yourself to possibilities. So I ask you today, what are some ways that you can be intentional about stop and smell the roses? Drop me a comment. I want to know. I am interested in your answer. Be blessed, everyone.